Well, hello, John. Thanks for joining Instinct today and talking about your life and trials and tribulations and, of course, new music. By the way, I love
Thank
your
you.
hair. I wish I
Thank you
had
very
that
much.
hair. It's beautiful.
Well, I've invested a lot of money into this head here, so
So that's your secret money. Okay.
that's everyone's secret.
So it's beautiful.
Hollywood.
It's beautiful where you're at. Where are you right now?
I'm in Florida right now, actually, just till
No,
tomorrow.
I'm in
Yeah.
Florida right now. What part?
I'm in Hollywood.
Oh, that's just south of me. I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, cool. I was there the other night. My
Oh,
first time ever. We went to the male strip club
Johnson's.
and to yeah, and to karaoke. And
Oh.
I I like karaoke more, but I appreciated the whole thing.
Now I said male strip club, and I belted out Johnson's. There's three in town actually. There's Boardwalk Johnson's and La Boy, and maybe some others in that some houses. But uh,
I didn't correct you.
okay, they have a location in Tampa as well. So if you get over to Tampa, there's a double decker.
You know what? My mom's over there, so I'll call her and tell her.
Okay, I was just at a conference, and they're wonderful owners, and they actually gave us a membership to raffle off. I bought it, so I have a membership to Tampa and here. So if I had known, I would have said hello to you last night, and I would have loved to hear you sing karaoke. What is your go-to karaoke song?
It depends. I like to start with something easy so that I can get a feel for the sound system. So
Understood.
I did Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede because it's just pocket, easy, no
Excellent.
problem for me. And then I sang End of the Road by Boys to Men. And that's more of a once I know what's going on.
That's a song. That's a crowd swaying song. Once you get into it, definitely, most definitely.
They were throwing shoes at me, which is high praise in the church.
That's what I
So
thought it was. Yes, yes.
yes,
Okay, okay. It's
I
a
was
good.
I had the best time.
But if you're in a Latino household, throwing shoes at you or flip flops is not a good thing. So remember that. Um,
Okay,
but
well, I'll make sure.
but you grew up in Baltimore area, correct?
Yeah, I'm from outside of Baltimore, Maryland.
And now you live in Los Angeles.
Yes, yeah, most of the time I'm there.
Okay. And do you see yourself in LA for a long time?
I hope not.
Because I remember you did sing a song, I Hate LA. And
Yes.
it was about the hypocrisy and everything. You looked amazing as Kim Kardashian. In that video. I'll post the video to
No,
you.
I think I was James Charles.
Oh, you were James. I thought there was a Kim Kardashian episode or part in there too. Um,
That was something else. Yeah, that was the Rich video. I,
oh yes, the
every
Rich
time
video.
I've
Yes.
every time I've done a video about hypocrisy and used this imagery, it doesn't do so hot for me. So we're just gonna be naked from now on.
Well, you do look good naked. I will say that
Thank you.
most definitely. And I had a moment or two or three, going through all your previous videos. We've talked to you, I think, since 2018. One of my English
Yeah.
writers from London, actually, he was from Manchester, I think. Yeah, he interviewed. He's, oh, you gotta look at this awesome, beautiful man, and da 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 da. And then he's like, oh, you're coming out with music. So he kind of introduced us and everyone to you back in 2018. So I had a great time looking at. I don't know, we had like 10 articles on you or so at least. So you've been one of
Yes.
our favorites to cover,
You
visually
have been
and
very kind.
auditory wise.
You have been very kind. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, and I was going back over the articles, and one thing that did pop out, many things popped up besides parts of your body, were the were the statement of sobriety. And you tried it once. I think you were going through sobriety again in 2020. How are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm like over 3.5 years sober,
Excellent.
um, which is cool. Okay, I like it. I'm very comfortable with it. It also sucks because I don't know how to enjoy shit anymore half the time. I go to a club. I'm like, it's so loud, it's so hot, it's so crowded, and I'm just too sober. You get
Right.
you too present. I'm a very present person in the
Oh, I hear
first
you.
place, which is why I used to need the drinks to kind of take me down a notch. But and I'm going out and about with the best I can. But I love being at home.
Yeah. I did non-drinking for a year, just for a medical issue or concern. And I still went out, and my drink of choice, I think, was ginger beer and cranberry juice. It's kind of a little good pick.
Yes.
So, but it is
Yeah.
different. Yeah, you know, if you're being aware of your environment, you are so much more aware without that alcohol in your hand. So,
Yeah, and it's changed me and my point of reference for life, right? There was a time when Girly, like my first video came out, and Hokey Pokey and these things, I was out partying, and I was seeing the world that way. I was wearing clothes like that. I was Now that I'm sober, what am I supposed to sing about?
right,
I went
right.
to the grocery store.
Well, you could make that sexy, I'm sure. If anyone could, it would be you. Uh, Speaking of sexy, do you still have a DJ Baby Duff?
Yeah, Baby and Daisy, my dogs, of course I still have them.
Okay, are they out? They're out in LA waiting for your return then.
They're in LA waiting for me right now. They're with their trainer. They've known since they were teeny puppies, and they have the best time, and they have tons of friends there. They
Nice,
love it.
nice.
It's so nice to drop your dogs off somewhere where they are fighting to get out of the car
Oh,
to
that is
go.
sweet. That is sweet.
Yes,
Yeah, you
it's
know they're in a
nice.
good place then. That puts you at
Yeah.
ease, definitely. Um, Now, talking about inspiration, I'm sure the dog inspires you to be happy and well. I think one of the songs you did a while ago, Do It, you were
Yes.
inspired by a ghost. Was that correct?
I Okay. So sometimes when I'm writing songs and I'm playing all the time, and I hear a phrase I like, I write it down. I might hear a melody in my head and record it. Do It was one of those weird times where the entire thing hit me at once, and I wrote the melody and the lyrics at the same time and just went. And so to me, I'm like, I don't know how to explain that.
Okay.
But it was
Okay.
like someone was giving it to me. So I remember after it finished, I had like a chill, and I just kind of wanted to cry. So it felt like something moved through me. But if you go
Nice.
back to the Greek origin of the word genius, right?
Okay.
The word genius is actually a noun, right? You had a genius.
Okay.
They used to believe like a fairy or an elf came into the room and
Oh, like a
gave
genie.
people, yeah, basically like a
Okay.
genie.
Okay.
And this was the great thing. It was not, we never used to say you are a genius. We used to say you had a genius. And it takes the pressure off of the artist or the writer, because they don't ever need to have one again. It wasn't them, it was something else.
Understood. So it's like a genus, genie, muse, spirit,
Yes.
something
Yeah.
that just gave you a big push. Um, Also, another part of the interviews I looked at, you like to be real. And I think you comment about how, you know, of course, you know, I hate LA is part of that. But you find, I think you find your inspiration in your songs with just about, hey, you know, this is how it is. This is how life is. And I'm a real person. I'm not putting on these facades. I'm well, you can't see a facade because I'm only wearing a thong, but but you seem to be down to earth and real. I think it's what I like about your songs. And also
Thank
they're
you.
fun and then you know beboppy catchy as well. But one of the songs I'm trying to remember which one it was. The one you did in black and white.
Is
Um,
it a sin?
is it a sin? That was a wonderful song. And
Thank you.
I know it was very personal because you know I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church as well, and so I think that shoved me back in the closet even more and more and more. I was, you know, in charge of the church choir in college even, and then they asked me to, hey, you should go into the priesthood. I'm like, okay, time out. This has to stop. You know, you don't like me as a person, but now you want me to be in the priesthood. So you know, is it a sin? Was just like I can feel that you know you were the suppressed. It's like it's not a sin if it's making you feel good. If I'm going to be real, if I'm going to be me, and so that was
Yeah.
a really powerful song, and it was quite different as well from your other songs because I don't know if you chose to be very black and white because it's a very black and white issue. You know, is it a sin or is it not a sin? But all your other songs are very, very colorful.
Yeah.
So I don't know who created Is It a Sin or directed that, but it was very good. I don't know if you had input in that or not, but
I creative direct all of my videos. So the treatments and the ideas, I've pretty much styled all of them, and I'm directing with whoever I'm working with always.
Nice.
There's nothing I'm not involved in my process.
So the most recent song, I just blanked on the name of it. I apologize. You do
Somebody's daughter.
somebody's daughter. Were you in charge of blurring out your hair down there and everything? Because
Yeah.
did you go back and do that yourself? I mean, it's a very revealing song. The shower scenes are very wonderful to watch as well. I think you're a pretty confident individual, which is it's good. But I think it still goes back to yourself just being, hey, it's me, I'm real. But can you talk more about that song and the inspiration for that song?
Okay, well, look, the song and video were never supposed to happen. We had booked this location. We had booked to shoot a video for another song. And me and this girl, my dear friend Nellie, who plays my love interest in the video,
Yes.
she was booked, and we were supposed to have 8 matching outfits made for us by a kind of famous gay designer.
Okay.
Who about 3 days before the shoot, I hadn't heard from. And I had a deep in an instinct magazine, an intuitive moment that he was not going to make these outfits.
Yeah.
So that night I called my friends and I said, we have to write a new song, and it needs to be about this girl, and it needs to work in this location. These are the colors of the video. So we really went off of what the video was.
Wow.
We wrote the song that night. The next day I went to Hollywood Boulevard. I went to every stripper store on the strip and bought little clothes that matched each of the rooms.
Howlettes. Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
I went back to the studio. We recorded the vocals. And then the next day we shot the video.
Wow.
And no one on the crew was privy to the idea that we were about to make a Skinamax film.
So you said you recorded the audio. You had not written the song a day or two before. This was a brand new song.
I wrote the song 2 days before the
My
shoot.
goodness.
Yeah.
My goodness. That's wonderful. Um,
But we knew we had a girl,
yeah.
and we were like, okay, so what can a video be? So I'm looking at the world, right? And I'm like, every straight artist is being gay, and the
Yes.
gays are loving it. So I've been a gay artist. Maybe if I be straight, everyone will love me.
We'll love you anyway. It doesn't, you don't have clothes on, clothes off, gay, straight, whatever.
I'd love to believe that, but I've had nice moments with people in the music industry,
Yeah.
and they say, you are so talented. This is so amazing. Can you please do a song for everyone? As though if I look the way I feel, I'd be wearing high heels. There's really no sexuality to that song,
Right.
but just because I'm a guy saying something about high heels.
Right.
So I said, great, I'm going to do a song for everyone. So I'm going to write something super misogynistic about a girl who's just such a hoe that I can't win her over. And that's for everyone.
How did she feel about you writing her in as a hoe? I mean, she was your friend. What happened? Or did she own it? She wore it as a badge.
She was acting, and I am so lucky it was her, because she is just like me. She's free and wild. And so when I said, hey, do you mind doing this naked? She said, sure.
She was very free, yes, and a little bit of blur lines here and there. Yeah, it was very good.
I've shown the video to different people. All my straight guy friends are like, she's so funny. They watch her the entire time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think most of the gay guys I know didn't know she was in the video. So
yeah.
It's like straight porn.
Well, it's good. I mean, you have eye candy for both parties or multiple parties. It's not just binary anymore. But and speaking of that, how do you identify or do you not want to identify on the spectrum?
I think I'm more fluid than I would like to believe. I think I've been called gay since I was 6 years old. So and it resonated. It wasn't totally off color, but I think I blocked out the part of myself that could be attracted to women for fear that there would be something wrong with a woman that loved me.
Right.
And in recent years and lots of therapy, I've been like, no, women are totally allowed to love me too, and I'm allowed to love them as well. I had a huge crush on a girl last year, it didn't pan out. Now I have a boyfriend, so you can just call me the F word if you want to.
No F words. Just
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
fabulous.
kidding.
Fabulous with 3 A's. Come see me in Las
Frank.
Vegas. No, I mean some performers, well, we look at Demi Lovato and she's changed her designations, if you will, a couple of different times, and others like Harry Styles, which is he gay baiting? Is he not? That's interesting too. He hasn't really defined what he is or who he is, or has not said what he is or who he is. So, it's interesting. I have no problem with someone saying I don't want to define myself. Or do. So you're fluid, but still interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because politically it's in favor right now of big artists coming out and saying, yeah, I'm a little gay.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case 10 years ago. Even with our Democratic politicians, they weren't supporting gay marriage 10 years ago, but
right.
the public shifted.
Right. Right.
So it makes sense politically to be a little gay, even if you never hold a guy's hand. You're just saying it.
Yeah.
I think though there's a double standard, right? And if I were to come out tomorrow and say, I woke up, you guys, I'm actually straight, everyone would say, he's self-loathing, he hates himself, he's a and so that's, again, I'm always interested in the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You've seen in other things.
Yeah.
It made me say, yeah, I want to be straight for a little to just see how that goes, since we love it so much when any straight guy just kind of is like, yes, I have an ass.
Now, isn't it best being the baby of the family?
How did you know?
Oh, I like I said, I went back and read some things. You have two older sisters, and you're the baby boy. So there's 3 girls in the family. I sometimes say that. I say, my parents had 2 girls and 2 boys, but being the baby is a great thing, and I think we are very unique children.
I like being the baby.
Yeah.
My sisters are also much older, right? So it shifted a lot for me socially and my references culturally. Because at age 3, they're like 16 and 19, so they're playing their music. I'm not listening to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I was listening to Notorious B.I.G. and Mariah Carey and whatever was on the radio.
Yeah, my sister was, I think she's the oldest. She was like 6 or 7 years older. And, the first song I remember listening to in the house was Whip It. I don't know if you know that song. Yes. I'm 49.
Do I know that song?
Well, just making sure. You're a youngin'. I mean, what, you're 34, 33?
I'm 33, yeah.
Okay, 33. Yeah. So yeah, I remember Whip It and my sister going to concerts with the big mall hair and all that stuff. So that's the imagery I grew up with, that kind of music.
I have a deep, deep knowledge of most American popular music from probably 1930 till 2016. There's not much that was popular that I'm not familiar with.
What's your go-to, if you do have Pandora, do you have a Pandora channel that you go to the most? Or who's on your music turntable the most? I say turntable, those exist anymore.
My music oh gosh, I go in these phases. I go in moments. In like the past month, I've just loved these girl groups from like 2000, 2001 that never made it. I've just been listening to their catalogs to see, hey, that's kind of good, or this would have worked. I was saying it, and so that's been a thing I've been on. But my ultimate go-tos are Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder.
Oh, beautiful.
Like this new song you're listening to, Somebody's Daughter.
Yes.
We pulled in this Barry White, who I love, and disco is so cool, but I feel a lot of the disco that kids are putting out now is only referential of late 70s disco, Giorgio Moroder influenced electronic disco, not necessarily the more two-step, laid-back, symphonic stuff.
Now, I did listen to disco quite a bit. I as a mama's boy, I rode in the car with my mother quite a bit, and she had the 70s and 60s channels on quite a bit. So the music reference you mentioned, those are near and dear to me. Do you remember what the first musical play you were ever in school? I was hanging out with somebody the other day, and just something came back to me from this musical play that I did in the 7th grade, and I remember every single word of it. Is there something that kind of haunts you that you just go back and just pull out of your head? No, I'm off on a tangent that I shouldn't go.
I know the words to everything. I am a I am a I think it could be a disorder or something, but if I know more lyrics to songs than anybody I've ever met. I've been banned from Name That Tune anytime I've ever played it because it's not fair to everyone else. I have my first musical. I was 8 years old and I played Conrad Birdie and Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
And that was in elementary school. And then I went to school for musical theater and I worked in New York doing musicals for years. And I could go do any of those shows, right? You let me look over the script one time and I'm good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you listen to your own music?
Well, okay, here's what happens. We do the song, we finish the song, we have a demo. I wear the demo out.
Nice.
Right.
Well, you're looking
Then,
to better it, I'm sure, if it could be correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's exciting. Like, wow, this is so great. And then if I really like it, I put it out. By the time I put it out and doing all this like uploading I mean, I'm doing all this myself. So pulling screenshots and 15-second clips and going through 5 edits of the video and put a bit of and the mixing and the mastering of the song and a remix.
Wow.
I'm pretty much by the time it comes out like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I wish it was a more effortless process to just enjoy it a little more, but by the time it's out, I'm already like, okay, time for the next one.
Yeah, we get a lot of music at Instinct. People sending us, and I desire heavily to stick with people within our community. They'll throw the word ally on it. I said, yeah, that's fine. You're great an ally. That's wonderful. Thank you. But I try to, work with people of our community more so than anyone. And so we hear a lot of different music, but I'll listen to like 2 or 3 seconds and then just discard it. When I was prepping for this interview, I pulled up all our 10 articles and started looking at all your music, and I was almost late because I wanted to hear all the songs. I wanted to hear.
Oh, thank you.
And I think I don't want to say that's unusual, but you have a great voice.
Oh no, it's unusual.
You have a great voice. You have a great presence, and I want to hear the words. And I hear some of the words, and then I go, wait, I want to go look for the lyrics because I want to make sure I'm hearing the right thing. You just have, I'd like it. You have a great presence. It's a realness about you that I enjoy. I'm gonna have to find, put you on a list or something and just listen to your channel, because it is very pleasant to hear you, and of course to see you. And speaking of seeing you, how can people see more of you? Some people may ask, oh wait, does he have an OnlyFans? Because he is in the social media realm and all that. What are your thoughts on people jumping to OnlyFans?
My mom says I'm not allowed to. And I've done a lot. I have pushed a lot of things around in my family. I did my song Hokey Pokey about getting my pussy eaten, and millions of people watched it.
Yeah.
I think I've done enough to them. And until the day that she says you can do it,
yeah,
I'm not going to do it. It's the one thing I've asked for permission on, because I was really taking some nice pictures of myself last year, and I was like, damn, I could make some money.
Yeah, these people are making $30,000 to $100,000 a month,
and I love
like,
them, and
really?
I'm grateful to them for their service.
Yeah.
But my mom says no.
To their service, so that means you are a subscriber to OnlyFans?
I've dabbled.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I've looked around. I mean, I might have had some love affairs in my time with some stars.
Some fluid trysts, love affairs out there.
I mean, no, real life, because it's a great way to get to know someone. You watch them work, and then you say, "Yeah, I want to be a part of that."
Now you're a busy man, and you have a boyfriend. How do you balance those two?
Well, he's on strike, so it's great.
Oh, so he's a writer. Okay.
Oh, he's an actor.
Oh, he's an actor. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this time we it's been pretty easy because he's around. And I'm around too. Like half this shit I'm doing is right here on this laptop or on my phone. It's just a lot of Um, it's just a lot of my thumb. I'm gonna have, what is the thing you get? Carpal tunnel?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It's like I'm a pianist with one finger. I'm doing this all day long with my thumb,
Oh,
and
wow. I do
so I'm
talk.
always in the room.
I do talk to text because I work for college and I work for Instinct and I do some other writing on the side too. So I do a lot of talk to text when I'm talking with friends or on Teams and things like that because I get tired of typing so much. But
I
a
understand.
couple more questions. I know you are vocally talented, but any musical instruments?
I play piano just enough to write. I'm really, music theory is my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm very I'm self-taught just from knowing how things go together.
Right. Um,
And I'd like to be better, but
I tried piano, but my OCD just didn't allow it. I'll stick to the cello. I tried the tuba for a little bit. That didn't work too well, but the cello was always a good
wow.
voice. But clarinet was 4 years. I like the deeper voices. So,
Well, that's why you connect with me.
speaking of connections, if someone came to you, if a young boy, girl came to you and was struggling to figure out whom they are, where they are, what should they do because they are questioning? What kind of advice would you have for these individuals? May it be something that came to you personally, or just something that you've learned throughout your own experiences? What kind of advice would you give someone who's just struggling to be themselves?
In a TikTok world, we placed emphasis on finding our identity and separation. This is what makes me different. Back off. Nobody understands me. Nobody understands me. Wait, I want to understand me. You'll never understand you. This is this new interaction. And
Right.
we've mistaken um, individuality for identity. But our identity is comprised of our entire life, our given circumstances, the people around us, and what makes us similar with people.
Right.
So my best advice to anyone is there's no rush to figure it out. I was old when I thought I might want to be with a woman. And it was because of the labels I'd placed on myself and the identity and the statements that I had made around my identity. I thought it would end me to make
Right.
a new choice. So we are all works in progress and there's no rush,
No, I
right? There's
agree.
no rush.
No, I agree. It's kind of almost like, going back to your song, Do It, do it or don't do it. You have nothing to prove, no one to please, except yourself. Just be yourself, do it or not, per se.
Yeah, do it, do it. It's a big world. You ain't got nothing to prove because we all would love to believe that we're really important and that
Yeah.
every little thing we do is so detrimental. But I have no fucking clue who the sixth president of the United States is, and I guarantee their life was more important than mine on some human level. Hundreds of
Right.
thousands of people probably died at their fingertips. I don't
Yeah.
even know their name.
Right.
So
Right. No, it's true.
if you
It's true.
pop your tire on the street or whatever, it's really not that big of a deal.
Right. So what is next for you? I mean, have I seen you go on tour? Do you do tours? I've missed it
I
if you
want
have.
to, but you know what sucks, okay? I came out with Girly, my first song. It did very well, but then I was a little mental. So it took me a year to get back on the horse. And then 2019, I started putting stuff out again, the end of the year.
Yeah.
2020 hits. You might have heard there was a global pandemic.
There was something in a memo, but it didn't reach Florida, so I don't know.
You're so lucky. So I'm so jealous of you. Don't even. So
Well, for
during
three
the
summers in a row, we had the highest death rates, but don't tell our governor. But anyway,
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens anyway.
yeah,
But fuck, I'm sorry, morbid. The in 2020 though, I had like lots of moments go viral, but we were shut down and there was nowhere for me to go. So
right,
I wanted I, my touring, my prides, my everything. It all has been halted, and
yeah,
no one's calling me and inviting me. With that said, I start performing in LA in October. I'm doing my first solo gig with me in a little band. Then I'm going to do a Pride there. I'm supposed to get to New York in November, and hopefully next
yeah.
year the show will be locked and we'll be taking it on the road.
Send us that information if you could. I'd love to promote that, or tell people where they can see you and find you. I will also send you a link to Sunshine Cathedral here in Fort Lauderdale. They have multiple great talents come in, usually in February or so, when it's the best time to be down here in Fort Lauderdale. I've seen, drag queens, and performers, singers, just great people from our community. So I will definitely would love to get the information from you where you're going to be, but I'll also try to get you some connections down here. Why are you in Hollywood right now?
My boyfriend, this is his house is
Oh,
here.
okay.
So
Excellent. Okay, good.
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I missed you, but I'm so happy that we could spend some time with you today. Your new song comes out tomorrow with the video, and we will definitely post it. I say tomorrow, this is going to go up on Friday, when we release your song. And
I was gonna go along with it, Adam. Don't worry.
whenever you watch this sometime in 2027, it'll be a Friday, September 1st, 2023. But John, thank you for your time. Thank you for your talent, and thank you for your smile. It was a very great pleasure to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you, and thank you for being so kind. And I hope I can continue to make you happy with what I do.
We'll cover you as long as we can at Instinct Magazine. So thank you again.
I don't want to be covered. No, okay.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Can you do that again? No. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.